The Fever have made another move this offseason, albeit a small one, but they signed Jillian Aileen to a training camp contract, the latest addition to a possible roster, I would say, because training camp contract means that it is not a guaranteed deal. They will make their decision before the WNBA season begins, which ramps up the competition at camp and the possible options for the Fever when it comes to formulating that final roster before the tip-off to the actual season.
The Indiana Fever just pulled off a surprise signing that could change the game for the WNBA. It's an unexpected but smart move that might reshape their roster in a big way this season.
Jaylen'in üçlüyü de öne geçmeyi başarmışlardı. Karşı başladı. Akdeniz temsil. Daha geliyor. Aktarma pek içeriği çok güzel görüyor ve asırı akıyor. Danny Henderson, Shayla Hill, Jillian Alain dışarıda boş 3 sayılık atış.
The Fever have signed Julian Allen, a player who dominated overseas after a brief and unremarkable WNBA stint. Now, she's back with something to prove. This move makes one thing clear: Indiana isn't just here to compete, they're here to win.
So I want to apologize to whoever the Indiana Fever draft in the second round of the WNBA draft, because you're not making this team. I want to apologize to Jaylen Brown because you're not making this team. The Indiana Fever have made a fantastic training camp signing. They have signed Jillian Alain, who, again, is one of these players that is really, like, when you look at, this is what we're going to call a late bloomer in her career.
If you're a rookie hoping to make the Fever's roster, you might want to explore other options. With this signing, the front office has made it tough, almost impossible, for any second-round pick to secure a spot.
But I think you're starting to get a little bit more shine from maybe the casual fan, and maybe some folks who maybe didn't know or haven't seen Indiana as much as they've seen this year.
I agree.
So what's that part like, getting a little bit more attention and getting a little bit more shine and getting the recognition that you deserve, but maybe weren't necessarily getting before?
No, that's a great question. I think that,
So, what does this mean for Indiana and the rest of the WNBA? Buckle up, we're breaking down every angle of this shocking roster move, but before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on the WNBA, the Indiana Fever, and all the breaking news shaking up the league. Now, let's get into it.
Here with the double-double machine, another conference win, 5 in the last 6 games. What does this conference win mean to you, Jillian?
It means a lot. Right now, Coach is saying every game has so much weight on it, especially for the NCAA tournament. That's our number one goal. So getting a win against a good Washington State team means a lot for us.
24 points, 14 rebounds.
Jillian Allen's WNBA career seemed to be over after she was drafted by Phoenix in 2016. She bounced around the league with little impact and eventually faded from the spotlight. But overseas? She became a dominant force. Now, she's back and ready to make her mark.
The squad.
I feel like I'm finding what I can do and what I can bring to the team. Just watching the past 2 tapes and the film we went over, I see that rebounding is my biggest thing, something that I can bring to the team, as well as good defense. We have some things to work on, but we're on the right track, and I love the feel of our team. I love how I fit into the system, so I'm feeling really good, and just hoping to continue to improve and find ways that I can contribute.
While many fans lost track of Allen, she was busy dominating in Turkey. She quietly put up incredible numbers in the KBSL, the country's top league. This past season, she averaged 18.6 points and 13.8 rebounds per game, leading the entire league in both categories. That's not just impressive, that's pure dominance.
From the angle that I had under the basket, it was like I was out of my body looking at it. I was like, okay, if I switch in time and pull it up, it's gonna go in, and it went right in. So we have the outlet pass from Megan. Lexi's gonna push the ball up the floor, and I'm gonna run my 4 lane. I see her drive with her left hand, and as the ball's airballed, I go instantly for the rebound. I see Kelsey hold on to me, and I just go right up. Falls right into the rim. I got the call, which was awesome. And the basket. It was perfect.
Basket counts for Jillian Aileen.
And let's set the record straight, Turkey's KBSL isn't some lower tier league. It's the best competition outside the WNBA, stacked with elite talent and experienced WNBA veterans. So with Allen putting up those numbers, why did no one see this move coming?
A lot of emotions. Going into this weekend, this last couple games here at Matthew Knight Arena, so I can't really explain the emotions, but there's definitely a lot. So many memories made here, and just really excited. The position that we're in, we have a chance to do something really great, and it starts on Friday.
Coach kind of put it to you before the season, so that if you wanted to cement your legacy, you had to get this team in this position.
Simple, WNBA teams usually overlook international dominance unless it comes from a former star. But Indiana paid attention. They saw what Allen was doing overseas and knew that kind of production could be a game changer for their roster.
Indiana Fever have responded in a big way since the Olympic break. Take a look at this. These are the top 3 scorers in the WNBA since the women brought home gold in the Olympics a few weeks ago. 2 of the members are of the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. But we are missing a big piece to this all-star puzzle. Literally, Aaliyah Boston has taken a step forward in her game, and she has built a special chemistry with their star rookie. So let's take it to the court, and I'll show you exactly how she gets it done. Go Aaliyah. She has been balling these last few weeks. So these are the plays that I love with Aaliyah. Watch this tandem. First, this is a pin.
The Fever's roster just got even tougher. This isn't just a solid signing, it's a game changer. By bringing in Allen, Indiana has addressed a key weakness, depth at the power forward position.
Looks like the Indiana Fever have signed Jillian Lane to a training camp contract, right? So we're looking at another big. If I look at the roster already, it's just a training camp contract. It's just a training camp contract, by the way. So I'm looking at our 4s, our 5s, AB, Natasha Howard, what's it called? Dantis, Brianna Turner, and that's really it, right? And then we have a draft pick coming up, right? So,
Last season, the Fever struggled to find reliable production behind Aaliyah Boston and Nyla Smith. Now, with Allen on board, they have a player who can come off the bench and deliver instant energy, rebounding, and toughness.
And Kelly are just talking about, players and evaluations before we came out here, and building quality depth is going to be important. When you have a core 3 like we have, surrounding them with players who are going to fill the roles, certainly, first and foremost, who are going to embrace the roles, secondly, and who give us the best opportunities for success by complementing what they do really, really well. We have seen in this league's history, how difficult it is to win a championship. The margin for error is small. The margin for error is small. When you're building teams, it's not about always just getting the best players. It's about getting the best complement of players who fit well together, who play well with one another, who...
This is bad news for anyone from the second round of the WNBA draft hoping to make the Fever's roster. The message is clear, there are no open spots left. If you're a rookie forward trying to stand out in training camp, you might already be out of luck. Indiana isn't here to develop prospects, they're here to win. And it's not just rookies feeling the pressure. If Allen shows up and dominates like she did overseas, the entire rotation could shift. Veterans who thought their spots were safe might suddenly find themselves on the chopping block. This isn't just another contract, it's a second chance. After years of being overlooked, Allen finally has an opportunity to prove she belongs in the WNBA. And make no mistake, she's not taking this lightly.
The Fever's new signing could change everything.
Her journey hasn't been easy. After barely getting playing time in her previous WNBA stints, she could have walked away. Instead, she put in the work, going overseas, refining her game, and becoming a dominant force. Now, at 30 years old, she's back, and she might be better than ever. But the big question remains, can she translate that overseas success into the WNBA? Dominating in Turkey is one thing, competing against the best in the world is another. But make no mistake, Allen isn't coming back just to see how it goes. She's coming back to take a spot.
3 weeks ago, a group of folks who've been working for 3 years.
You've got your 9th career, maybe? I don't know, but tell us a little bit about your next journey.
Thank you. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, a group of folks who've been working for 3 years to create a brand new project came to me and asked me, shared with me the vision of this project, and it seems like it's worth doing. So at the end of our season, which I hope is deep into the playoffs, I will transition to create the country's first girls sport and leadership complex, and never been done. It will be all the sports. It'll be focused just on girls, 12th grade and under.
This signing just made the Fever's draft plans a lot more interesting. They already hold the number 1 pick, which will almost certainly be Caitlin Clark. But now, with Allen in the mix, their second round pick just lost most of its value. If you're a rookie forward hoping to make this roster, good luck. Allen just took your spot. Indiana doesn't need to waste a pick on a developmental player when they've got a proven talent ready to contribute. Instead, they can use that second-round pick on a stash player, someone they can send overseas for a few years before bringing them in.
Pounding Clark. Clark, step back three. Shot of that run to the belt of the Aces. Clark, cut it! Just for that reason, they're too.
So don't be shocked if Indiana takes a European prospect instead of a traditional college player. This signing has completely reshaped their approach to roster building.
What everybody talked about when we were in the playoffs last year of, we really didn't have much experience at all playing in playoff games. I don't know what the exact number was, but we really lacked in that area.
We can generally say that Indiana had a successful campaign last season. But see, Caitlin ain't lying with what she just said. I mean, we have to take our hats off to the Fever.
The WNBA is already experiencing a power shift, with teams stacking their rosters for a deep playoff push. Now, Indiana has thrown a wild card into the mix. This signing isn't just about adding depth, it's a statement. The Fever are making it clear, they're done rebuilding. They're here to compete, and they're ready to shake up the league hierarchy.
You guys had the appearance at the Pacer game on Friday, too. I'm curious how you've taken her under your wing a little bit to kind of show her the ropes of being a pro at this point.
I put it as when you go to a different school, the first day of school, you don't know anybody, and you find that one person that says hi to you that become your best friend. For me, I just wanted to get ahead of it because I know this transition is tough. Just being undrafted and being a rookie, it's very unlikely that a vet, just take you in when you got the same position. And I think oftentimes people forget that I'm a great person before a basketball player. So for me as a big sister, I'm just I'm going to take this first step.
Think about it. The Eastern Conference has been a battlefield, with Connecticut, New York, and Washington all fighting for dominance. But now, Indiana is positioning itself as a real threat. They've already locked in Caitlin Clark, and with Allen coming in, they're addressing one of their biggest weaknesses, bench production. That's something teams like the Liberty and Sun should be concerned about. If Allen plays anywhere close to her overseas numbers, the Fever just got a whole lot more dangerous. For rival teams, the pressure is on. Indiana was supposed to be in rebuild mode, but this move shows they're ready to compete *now star. The message is clear, the Fever aren't here to play around anymore.
I know, I'm falling so much.
Every big signing comes with one major question: will it actually work? Allen's overseas numbers are undeniably impressive, but there's no guarantee she'll replicate that success in the WNBA. And that's what makes this move so intriguing.
Clark gonna get by the Mystics defense. Here's Clark. Picked up now by D. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo. Drill. 3 shots that she's made in tonight's game. Dribble.
Indiana is making a calculated gamble here. Allen hasn't played in the WNBA for years, and while she dominated in Turkey, adapting to the league's speed, athleticism, and defensive intensity is a whole different challenge. Plus, the Fever already have a strong core with Aliyah Boston, Alyssa Smith, and Caitlin Clark, 3 young stars who will command major minutes. So the big question is, where does Allen fit in?
Down by 9 in the fourth, and on the shoulders of Aliyah, Indiana comes storming back for a 4-point win in overtime. Sure wins this year. A lot of victories over big opponents. Adversity, not many like they overcame here tonight.
This could go one of two ways. Either Allen proves to be a hidden gem and delivers one of the best comeback stories in recent memory, or she struggles to adjust and ends up as just another training camp cut. One thing's for sure, Indiana is making a bold bet that she's still got plenty left in the...
In Sophie Cunningham, the Indiana Fever are trading for a multi-dimensional wing, capable of knocking down the 3-ball.
Cunningham is starting to cook. Cunningham 3 is good. Cunningham from the corner.
Locking down defenders.
Several deflections, and this time she gets the steal and the N1 opportunity.
And injecting passion and emotion into the game and into her team. On offense, Cunningham is a floor spacer and a deep